Hey everybody, it's time for your Ottawa real estate market update for the month of June 2023. So if you've seen these before, you know how we roll. We run through the stats for freehold sales and condo sales in the past month, and then I'll give you three of my personal pearls of wisdom, takeaways from what we're seeing in the market right now. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Andrew, I'm gonna get you to throw up the stats for May 2023 right here. Boom, I'm assuming they're up. Okay, so in May 2023, we sold a total of 1,478 freehold homes in Ottawa. It's about 30% more than we sold in April. It's still a little lower than a typical month of May, where we're usually around 1,800, but we're getting pretty close to sort of back to normal, whatever that means in this crazy world that we're living in now. In May, homes that sold on average went for $744,000. It's more or less flat with April. We were at 749 in April, so less than a 1% difference. And it's about 7% lower than what they were selling for this time last year, so May of 2022. So the gap between 2022 and 2023 is actually starting to close, and prices have been more or less flat for the last couple of months now. Moving along, homes that sold in May on average took 23 days to sell. That was quicker than they were selling last month, where it took about 27 days to sell. And the homes that sold in May went for 99.2% of the list price on average. So they're selling for almost full price. That's also a small uptick from where we were in April. They were selling for like 98.9% in April. And last but not least, inventory was also down once again at the end of May. If you remember, inventory is a stat that takes into account both supply and demand. So we ended the month of April at 1.9 months of inventory, which is already very low. We ended the month of May with 1.6 months of inventory. So inventory is steadily trended down this year every single month. We're in full-on seller's market territory when it comes to inventory and days on market. So that does it for freehold. Let's move on to condos. Andrew, I'm gonna get you to put up the stats now. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there they are. In May 2023, we sold a total of 468 condos in Ottawa. That's about a 40% jump from what we sold last month. So pretty significant increase in sales volume. It's still slightly lower than the typical month of May, where we're normally like in the high 400s to low 5s. But again, much like freehold, we're kind of getting back to normal. The average price of a condo in the month of May was $443,000. It's about 2.5% higher than it was in April. Not a big jump, and it's about 6% lower than it was in May of last year. So again, same kind of trend as freehold. Condos that sold in May took on average 26 days to sell, and they sold for 98.7% of their list price. So similar trend to freehold. And last but not least, we've only got 1.3 months of inventory of condos right now. So that again is down. We were at 1.9 months in April. We ended at 1.3. So super low inventory levels. Same type of trend, right? With condo and freehold. Days on market trending down. Inventory trending down. List to sale price ratio trending up. Which takes me to my first takeaway, and that is that if these trends that I've just described for both freehold and condo continue, prices will rise. It's inevitable, right? So I've told you that prices have been more or less flat for the last 2 or 3 months with both freehold and condo. However, if we continue to see inventory levels trend down, if we continue to see days on market trend down, and we continue to see list to sale price ratios trend up, then it is inevitable that prices are going to rise. All of the stats I just described put upward pressure on prices. We haven't really seen that pressure realized yet, but again, if it continues, prices are going to go up unless, and this takes me to my second point, we see a change in interest rates, right? So if you remember, at the beginning of 2023, the Bank of Canada told us that it was their intention to freeze interest rates for all of 2023. And so far, they've kept that promise. Interest rates have been flattened, but that's really spurred the market. And the market in Ottawa and in a lot of other major Canadian cities is getting really hot again, and we're starting to see prices go up. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to me to see what the Bank of Canada does at their next interest rate announcement, which is actually set to happen on June 7th. So I'll be paying very close attention, so should you. And I'll be looking for one of two things. One, obviously they may just raise interest rates, which, hey, there you go, interest rates are up, and then it'll be interesting to see what happens to the market. The other thing they may do though is they may start to leave little breadcrumbs, right? They may not raise interest rates on June 7th, but they may start to throw in some wording that suggests that maybe interest rates are coming. So again, that's going to be a very, very interesting meeting and a very interesting announcement. I think everybody should be paying attention to that if you are involved in the real estate market. Last but not least, the third takeaway thing I'm seeing in the market is we are seeing a return of what I like to call manufactured bidding wars on properties, especially when it comes to freehold. So if you've watched some of the past updates in past months, I told you that we were starting to see more and more bidding wars, more and more multiple offer situations as we kind of headed into spring. However, a lot of those multiple offer bidding war situations were what I would refer to as sort of organic bidding wars, right? So the properties weren't necessarily listed or positioned to get a bidding war, to get multiple offers. It just kind of happened naturally. You know, great property, great neighborhood. A lot of people see value. There's not a lot of good inventory, so they get multiple offers. Those properties would often sell for right around the list price, right? Because they were priced at a price that was in line with what the seller expected, what the agent felt it was worth. What we're starting to see now is the same trend that we saw a ton of in 2021, in 2022, where properties are listed at an artificially low price, and that is meant to generate multiple offers, huge bidding war that's meant to sell the property for way above the list price. Now, what does it mean to you? Well, if you're a buyer, if you're an investor, and you're looking at properties on Realtor, you're looking at properties anywhere else, keep in mind, first and foremost, that a seller is under absolutely no obligation to accept a full price offer. And if you see a property that's listed at a price that seems too good to be true, the first thing you should do is you should look at the public remarks for that property. That's that little paragraph that tells you about the gleaming hardwood floors, the backyard oasis, and all the other information about the property. If you look through that paragraph and you see a note that says that something along the lines of, you know, offers to be presented on a certain day at a certain time, that's a pretty surefire sign that not only is that seller and that agent expecting a bidding war on that property, but it's also a pretty surefire sign that the list price is not an actual indication of what that seller expects for that property. It's not an actual indication even of what that seller would accept in terms of price for that property. So stay cool out there. That about does it for this month. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions about the market, your personal situation, we've set up a great little Calendly link. You can book a quick discovery session with me, learn a little bit about your situation, give you some tips, some tricks, and you know, hopefully send you on your way with more knowledge than you had before you called. Yeah. All right, that does it. I'll see you next month.